In this video today, you're going to find out why Cary, North Carolina is the final boss for median home prices. It's skyrocketed to over $631,000. Let that sink in for a second. Heck, you can take a minute if you want, but for $500,000, you could plant your flag in many great places across the country. Uh, so what in the world is going on in Cary, North Carolina that justifies that kind of price tag? Is it the nationally ranked schools and playgrounds that look like they belong in a theme park? Or is it the powerhouse tech scene that's pulling in high-paying jobs from all over the globe? Or maybe this is just another overpriced dud hype that's waiting to be popped. Today we're going to break it all down. We're looking at the real numbers, the actual lifestyle, and the opportunities to answer one big question. Is Cary, North Carolina really worth the hype? We'll show you exactly what this kind of money gets you. And at the end of this video, you'll know whether Cary is the real deal or if it's just another expensive dud that's all sizzle and no steak. Let's talk. All right, let's just address the pink elephant in the room, the cost. So as of middle 2025, the median sale price for a home in Cary is hovering around $631,000, which is a jump from 2.6% the previous year. It's unbelievably competitive here, and in Cary there's still multiple offers in some cases, and it's not unusual for a home to go into contract in less than a week's time, faster than dad jokes on a Thanksgiving. And this isn't a new thing. For years, Cary's housing costs have been way above its famous neighbor, Raleigh, North Carolina, and the national average. In fact, Cary's median home price is more than 40% higher than the statewide median for North Carolina. On top of the sale price, you have to factor in HOA fees, which are pretty common in Cary's master plan communities. And they can tack on a few $100 extra to your monthly bills. So the problem is obvious. Getting into Cary takes a serious financial commitment. It's not the kind of place you can just move to on a whim. And this brings us to the real question, why? What could possibly justify this kind of cost and competition? Well, the answer starts with one of the biggest reasons people move anywhere. It's usually jobs. And in the next section, we're going to talk about the job market in Cary, North Carolina. Stick around. Here's the deal. You can't talk about Cary's home prices without talking about its job market as well. And Cary's job market isn't just good, it's one of the best in the entire country. A recent Smart Asset study ranked Cary as the number 3 best job market in the United States. It's not a fluke, ladies and gentlemen. The ranking was based on hard data, like an incredibly low unemployment rate of just 1.5% when the study was done, which was the 4th lowest out of nearly 350 cities. More recent numbers from April of 2025 show the unemployment rate for the Raleigh-Cary metro is still holding strong at around 2.5 to 3%. The reason for all this? The reason for all this economic firepower is Cary's location. It's right in the heart of RTP, or Research Triangle Park. The area is a magnet for high-paying tech and biotech jobs. Cary itself is home to some absolute giants, some beasts in the game. The biggest employer is the SAS Institute, the largest privately held software company on the planet. But the list goes on. You've got Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite, a huge hub for Deutsche Bank, American Airlines, Siemens, and my favorite, John Deere. And with companies like Apple, Google, and IBM setting up massive campuses just a short commute away, the opportunities, they're just immense. This flood of high-paying jobs, it has a direct effect on the local economy. It's a trickle-down effect. You see, the median household income in Cary is over $120,000, with some reports putting it closer to $132,000. That's significantly higher than the national median. So while the cost of living it is 6 to 7% higher than the US average, the earning potential here really helps balance things out. And get this, here's a stat that tells you a lot about the kinds of jobs here. Nearly 40% of Cary residents work from home, which was the highest percentage of any city in that Smart Asset report. That points to a flexible, modern workforce in future-proof fields. With jobs this easy to find, even my resume got an offer like 7 months ago. I turned it down though because I kind of like doing this. Congrats! So you've landed a great job, but what happens when you shut off the laptop for the day? This is where Cary really starts to make its case. For 2025-2026, the U.S. News & World Report ranked Cary the number 5 best place to live in the entire country, and the number 1 best place to live in North Carolina. And these aren't just vanity, meaningless awards. They're based on things that actually matter to people. For instance, things like safety, desirability, and overall quality of life. Cary is constantly recognized for its safe neighborhoods, clean streets, family-friendly vibes. It was even named the safest mid-sized city in America. And that happened not too long ago. So it's this blend of suburban comfort with big city perks that people are paying for. The town has exploded in size, going from about 7,600 people in 1970 to now over 180,000 people today. But it's managed to keep that small town feel through very careful and deliberate planning. You see, Cary was a pioneer in using planned unit developments, or PUDs, PUDs, which let them build cohesive master planned communities where parks, schools, and shopping centers are all woven together thoughtfully. You can see this focus on quality of life everywhere you look, from the pristine greenways that sort of snake through the town to huge community events like the North Carolina Chinese Lantern Festival that occurs. There's a real sense of community. And Cary's so desirable, even the local squirrels, they have waiting lists for their trees too. People aren't just buying a house. They're buying into a lifestyle that's been internationally designed for decades. Now, I know breaking all this down can be a lot, especially when you're trying to decide if a move like this is right for you. If you're thinking about moving to Cary or anywhere in the Triangle and you want to talk to a team that lives and breathes this market like every day, we're here for you. Whether you're a year away from a move or a week or day, just shoot us a text message or give us a call. You can even send me an email. We'd be honored to help you out. All of our contact information is right down there in the description. For a lot of families, the single biggest reason for a move isn't the job, or even the parks for that matter, it's the schools. And this is an area where Cary consistently gets straight A's, so to speak, pun intended. The Wake County Public School System, which serves Cary, is one of the top rated districts in the state. U.S. News ranked Cary's schools number 27 in the entire nation for college readiness. That's a huge testament to a system that's setting kids up for success at top tier universities like right down the road. We're talking Duke, UNC, Chapel Hill, and NC State. This focus on education is a massive draw and a key reason families are willing to pay a premium to live here. A great school system doesn't just mean a great education. It also stabilizes home values, making a house in Cary a pretty solid long-term investment. But the focus on family goes way beyond the classroom. This town is built for families. You see it in the endless kid-friendly activities and in the design of the public spaces. And that brings us to the next big justification for that hefty price tag: the amenities. Great jobs and great schools are the foundation. But what you experience day to day really comes down to the amenities. Cary has invested a ton of money into creating world-class public spaces. Now, you don't have to look any further than the new downtown Cary Park. The 7-acre oasis is an absolute game changer. With a performance stage, dog parks, sports courts, and beautiful elevated skywalk. At the center of it all is the Nest, a playground so incredible that USA Today named it the #1 best public playground in America. With its giant cardinal place structures, it's basically an architectural marvel that kids are obsessed with. And that's not the only one. Cary is also home to the Kids Together playground at Marla Dorrell Park, a nationally recognized park designed for children of all physical and mental abilities, making sure that play is inclusive for every single kid, so no one feels left out. Beyond the parks, the town is buzzing with new energy. The downtown area has been totally revitalized. I mean, totally, with fantastic new restaurants, breweries, like the famous Bond Brothers, and shops popping up everywhere. And with modern upscale shopping centers like Fenton and Park West Village, you get the kind of high-end retail and dining you'd expect to find in a much bigger city, somewhere in California, but not as expensive. This is what people are paying for: the convenience of having everything you could possibly need, from beautiful parks to amazing restaurants. And it's right at your doorstep, all inside of a safe and perfectly maintained community. Okay, here's a spoiler alert. Look, no place is perfect, and I'd be doing you a big disservice if I planted Cary as some suburban utopia without touching on the downsides. The biggest con or downside, obviously, is the one we started with. It's the cost. That $631,000 median price is like a real barrier for a lot of people. The market is intense, and the term bidding war is just part of the everyday vocabulary here. Cost of living, even with the high incomes, is still higher than in nearby Raleigh, Durham, and the rest of the state. And for some people, the whole master plan vibe of Cary can feel a little sterile. There's no joke, don't get offended. And that joke is that Cary stands for Contaminated Area for Relocated Yankees. And while it's said with a wink, there's a little truth in there. If you're looking for gritty urban character or eclectic historic neighborhoods, Cary might feel a bit too polished, a little too perfect. It's a town built on order and planning, which is a huge pro for some and a definite con for others. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this up. After looking at all of this, what's the final verdict? Why are people shelling out over $631,000 to live in Cary, North Carolina, of all places? The answer is actually pretty simple. They believe it's worth it. They are paying a premium for a rare mix of economic opportunity, safety, and an exceptional quality of life. They're paying for access to a top 3 job market in the country, some of America's best public schools, and nationally ranked parks, all inside one of the safest and most well-planned communities you can find. So is Cary an overpriced bubble? The data says no. Those high home prices are anchored by incredibly strong fundamentals, high salaries, and rock-bottom unemployment. It's not a bubble. It's what happens when there's intense demand for very specific, high-quality lifestyle. At the end of the day, Cary isn't for everyone. If your number one priority is affordability, or if you prefer the unpredictable energy of a big city, you might want to look elsewhere. Try Clayton or Fuquay. I got videos on that. But if you're looking for a place to build a career, raise a family, and enjoy an incredibly high standard of living, all the evidence shows that Cary, North Carolina, it delivers on its promise. You really do get what you pay for. What do you think? Is Cary worth the money? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this with a friend who's thinking of moving to North Carolina for more deep dives into places that you may be thinking about making a move to. So, if you're thinking of making a move, you might want to watch the video that I made on Cary homes. The last video I was showing a $949,000 home. So if you don't believe me, Cary's expensive, there's your proof. You should watch that video because it's coming up next.